Not nearly long enough. Thank you, everybody.
Donald Trump just ran off the tarmac en route to Garden City, New York after trashing our troops. What you just heard there on the tarmac is Donald Trump saying that our courageous Navy sailors and Marines aboard the supercarriers in the Persian Gulf are not on the ships long enough, not nearly enough is what he says as he then runs away. He wants our sailors and our Marines aboard those supercarriers who have been treated absolutely horrifically by the Trump regime. We've heard from their family members. We've heard from them directly about the horrid conditions aboard these supercarriers. And Trump says they need to be on board much longer and suffer more torture. And then I'll show you in a moment, he defames the families and says the families are liars. Shame on that disgusting, vile thing there on the tarmac who defames our service members. Shame on him. Yes, he should be impeached. Yes, 25th Amendment, but that sicko deserves to be behind bars. It pisses me off. And look at what a mess he looked like. His hair is all over the place. He looks like a sickly freaking gremlin over there. You really going on old Air Force One or the Qatari Air Force One? Are you going to hide in a food truck, you pathetic piece of crap? Let me show you what Donald Trump was looking when his hand was not rotting away. Oh, look how strong I am. He puts his hand up like the idiot that he is. Here he is defaming our courageous sailors, our courageous Marines. Shame on this disgusting thing right here. And to all the families of the service members, we hear you. We're fighting for you every damn day. And we're going to do everything we can on this network to make sure your voice is heard. Here, play this clip.
Well, no, that ship is moving. No, they're not. That ship is moving right now, or very shortly, and it's being replaced with another very similar ship. No. Not nearly long enough. Thank you, everybody.
Then, like the little idiot thing that he is, he's like, anybody want to ask me questions? Anybody want to ask me anything? No one wants to even talk to you after you defamed our troops. Sicko. Here, play this clip.
Question there for. Go ahead. Anybody?
And then he goes, okay. But everybody realizes Wall Street's doing amazing, right? The Wall Street economy's doing really good right now. So is that what you're going to go tell the people in Garden City, New York about? We crushed it for the billionaires. We crushed it for Wall Street while the American people can't afford anything. Here, play this clip.
I have a lot of things that are happening, a lot of good things. The economy is doing unbelievably from the standpoint of Wall Street. We just set another record, as you know.
So then they had to do cleanup on aisle 3. They brought in Anna Kelly, the White House deputy press secretary. Many believe she's going to be the next Caroline Leavitt, as Caroline Leavitt resigned after Donald Trump went on the food truck with Natalie Harp and left Caroline Leavitt on old Air Force One in Turkey after the NATO summit in order to be subject to the fabricated Iranian assassination attempt that Netanyahu told Donald Trump about. But here, Anna Kelly's like, we all know that Donald Trump cares about the troops. Remember what Joe Biden did? Remember Joe Biden shifted the focus away from war fighters onto woke, DEI. Let's say the word woke over again. While you want to know what the American people think of your putrid fascist regime, while you ruin the lives of our sailors, while you destroy the lives of our Marines, and you go, hey, everybody, remember woke? We're going to talk about woke again. I despise these people, not as a political ideology, but because of what their actions. They're incompetent. They're malicious. They're freaking liars in everything they do. Here, play this clip.
Just before we go in, I wanted to ask you about one other issue that the president was asked about on the tarmac at JBA, and that's reports of low morale, increased suicidal ideation aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln. CENTCOM pushing back on this, saying it's just not true, that those reports are erroneous. But is the president concerned about the length of these deployments? You know, typically these ships are out for 6 months or so. The Lincoln's been out for 9 months. Apparently it's going to transition out of the area and be replaced by another ship. But is the president concerned that these sailors and these ships are staying at sea far longer than they normally do?
Well, John, I think this president cares about our United States military service members, our troops, more than everybody. Remember Joe Biden, who unfortunately shifted the focus on our away from our war fighters and onto these woke DEI policies that had nothing to do with readiness and lethality. This president has focused our Department of War in a tremendous way on readiness, lethality, and giving all of our war fighters the support they need to be successful. So the Department of War has done that in an unprecedented way, and they will continue to do that to support the most lethal, ready, incredible, talented fighting force the world has ever seen.
All right. We look forward to the president. Top of the next hour. Anna Kelly with the update and the preview. Thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you both.
All right.
And then more from Anna Kelly on State Regime Media. Donald Trump is going to Garden City in order to campaign for the MAGA Republican candidate there, Blakeman. That's why he's going to Nassau County that's why he's going to New York. To campaign for Blakeman. Watch this here. Play this clip.
They're enacting in places like New York. The president will always stand on the side of law and order, our brave law enforcement officers, and he is the only one alongside Republicans who is putting a stop to these radical policies.
Given all that, though, it is unusual that a New York Times Siena poll found that in the state of New York, at least, the Republican, Bruce Blakeman, Nassau County executive who's running against Kathy Hochul for governor, is actually trailing her when people are asked who best to look after crime. She leads 47-44. That stands in contrast with Republicans in general. Fox News poll from July found Republicans had the edge, 7 points over Democrats, 53-46 on which party would do a better job on crime. How do you explain the anomaly in New York?
Well, I think the president his record of success speaks for itself. And I think the best poll occurred on November 5th of 2024, when an overwhelming majority of Americans elected him to office, in large part because of these tough on crime policies. Again, this president stands on the side of backing the blue, of deporting illegal criminals from our country that unfortunately were ushered in at record numbers under Joe Biden, of abolishing prisons, again, ending cash bail, allowing these repeat offenders to come back on the streets. Contrast that with Democrats. This president will always stand on the side of law and order. Americans know it, and they feel safer overwhelmingly as a result, unless they are in these unfortunate blue state policies that are suffering directly as a result of failed Democrat leadership.
Summer's the season where I actually want to feel good, not just look good, and one really simple thing I've added to my morning routine is Manakora honey. It's rich, creamy, tastes incredible, and all you need is 1 heaped teaspoon each morning. I'll take it straight from the spoon, but you could also put it in your iced coffee, smoothie, or yogurt. Manakora is ethically produced in the remote forests of New Zealand, where bees gather nectar from the Manuka tea tree. It has 3 times more antioxidants and prebiotics than regular honey, helping support your cells and gut. And it naturally contains MGO, a rare antibacterial compound that sets Manuka honey apart. Now it's easier than ever to try Manakora honey. Head to manakora.com/Meidas to save up to 31% plus $25 worth of free gifts with the starter kit, which comes with an MGO 850 plus Manuka honey jar, 5 honey travel sticks, a wooden spoon, and a guidebook. That's manakora.com/Meidas. MEIDAS to save 31% plus $25 worth of free gifts.
Then Kash Patel's already talked to this event. Kash Patel's like, I spent 10 years working for Donald Trump. He reads about each and every case. I mean, you all realize that Kash Patel's whole thing as a podcaster was to attack the FBI, was to attack law enforcement. And all this Trump regime has done is push out some of the top law enforcement competent people and elevate people like Kash Patel while they cover up child sex trafficking rings. And shame on all of those officers and sheriffs that are behind him right now. Like, you're literally there working with a regime that covers up child sex trafficking? Is that what you all think back the blue means, to cover up trafficking? Really? Really? Because when you show yourselves there and you support the regime that covers up child sex trafficking, you know how that makes you look? You know how that makes you look to most people? Here, play this clip.
And they are not just statistics. I've spent 10 years working for President Trump. He reads about each and every case that we work on. He feels the pain of those that have lost loved ones. He does not let it lay aside. He takes it home with him. He demands that myself and our amazing Attorney General, Todd Blanche, go to work every single day to make sure that American lives are safeguarded, that no more of our kids are harmlessly and recklessly annihilated by opioids or by illegal immigrants or by gangsters or narco traffickers. President Trump, you have succeeded in restoring law and order to the precipice it should be on.
Let's talk about what the Navy sailors and Marines are telling us, what their family members are saying. Aaron Parnas with the exclusive. Family members confirmed to Parnas, make sure you subscribe to Aaron Parnas' YouTube channel, that the problems service members are facing on aircraft carriers are not limited to the USS Lincoln. Those on the USS Bush told family members that they had virtually no food, no water, no soap. Hi, Aaron. I tried to message on Instagram, but I kept receiving an error message. My brother and his fiance are both in the Navy, and I can confirm what you have been reporting. His fiance is on the USS George H.W. Bush, not Lincoln, and was recently back in the U.S. for a family emergency, so we were able to talk to her. She told us how they have virtually no food, no water, or soap. They've been out to sea for 136 days in the George H.W. Bush, with no end in sight. Morale is low and everyone is miserable. It is heartbreaking. Thank you for continuing to report and get the word out there. People need to know what is happening, and we've shared dozens of stories like that. Hat tip to Aaron Parnas. His enterprise reporting is so needed now, and it's such an honor to be affiliated with Aaron. Even the Wall Street Journal's op-ed saying the following this morning: Trump is starting to look precarious. Think he's starting to look precarious, or how he's always looked precarious? This is what Peggy Noonan just said in her op-ed. Iran, the economy, an insurgency that becomes a government is eventually responsible for conditions. There's no denying the current erosion of his position. It's not only that the conflict is dangerous or that his attempts at diplomatic resolution seem half-baked, but that almost 6 months in, it seems that he's utterly out of his depth. You think? It seems it's becoming precarious, or has the guy always been a lifelong idiot who's bankrupted his casinos and bankrupted companies? So is it a shocker that the bankrupter bankrupts our military, bankrupts our supercarriers, bankrupts our strategic petroleum reserves? Oh my God, the bankrupter bankrupted. Who would have thought? Oh my God, the sexual predator covers up child sex trafficking rings. Who would have thought? I'm not sure why I did a Mickey Mouse voice there, but what are we talking about? This is the least normal, most obvious. The guy's a felon. The guy's, oh my God, but the felon got us into a precarious situation. Again, I don't know why I'm doing the Mickey Mouse voice, but it just coping mechanism with how idiotic these people are. Meanwhile, we again are learning more Iranian strikes in the Strait of Hormuz in the past 48 hours. ADNOC once again confirming 2 tankers have been hit, in addition to the multiple tankers hit last week. That's the Abu Dhabi National Oil Company. They're confirming that. And then you just hear stories like this every day. New York Times doing good reporting on this stuff. Homeland Security paid $464 million for airplanes. Then it parked them. The agency used a no-bid contract to buy 10 used jets, saying they were urgently needed for deportations flights. But the fleet has largely been idle for months. Remember, the General Dynamics built a factory for Ukrainian drones. Then it became a dumpster fire, and we never actually used it. This was being reported by TWZ-10. U.S. not prepared to handle drone attack from inside the homeland. Northcom deputy commander says, we would not be able to protect against any strikes if drones from foreign countries started reaching the United States, because we don't have the ability to intercept them. We don't have the nodes in order to track the drones from foreign countries. But, Iran's building up pretty quickly, and it's like Israel and the U.S. are shocked that Iran's ballistic missile arsenal has been replenished quickly. There's nothing to be shocked. Just study the freaking war. Study what incredible engineering systems they have. This shocker. But what the U.S. is focused on now is Donald Trump heads to Garden City and stands in front of law enforcement while he covers up child sex trafficking, is the $25 million ICE stun gloves. They wear gloves to electrically shock people, electrocute people. What the hell is going on here? Here, play this clip.
With ICE tactics already facing fierce scrutiny, tonight the Department of Homeland Security is planning to spend up to $20 million on specialized gloves agents can use to incapacitate someone with an electric shock simply by touching them. DHS describing them as de-escalation devices, saying their officers are trained in use of force.
Give me your hands. Give me your hands.
The technology called the glove or generated low output voltage emitter seen here in a demo from the manufacturer.
You ready? Here you go.
There you have it, everybody. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Pre-order WTF America Now. That's the book I wrote with my brothers. The pre-orders are really important. Let's keep the momentum going. I'll put a link in the description below. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Before you go, our book, WTF America, is available for pre-order now. It's the story of how we got here and how we fight our way back. To pre-order, scan the QR code or click the link in the description. Let's do this.